Come to order. Mr. Schauffele, please call the roll.
Senators Amabile, Baisley, Ball, Bridges, Bright, Carson, Catlin, Cutter, Cutter,
Excused.
Danielson, Danielson,
Excused.
Doherty, Exum, Frizzell, Gonzalez, Hendrickson, Judah, Judah,
Excused.
Kip, Kirkmeyer, Kirkmeyer,
Excused.
Colker, Liston, Lundeen,
Excused.
Marchman, Michelson Genet, Mullica, Pelton B, Pelton R, Rich, Roberts, Rodriguez, Simpson, Snyder, Sullivan, Wiseman, Winter, Danielson, Kirkmeyer, Senate District 17 vacant. Mr. President.
Let's do this. The morning roll call is 31 present, 0 absent, 3 excused, and 1 vacant. We have a quorum. Senator Frizzell, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Members, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the journal. Approval of the journal. Senator Judah is not here, so can someone else do the approval of the journal? Anyone? The Honorable Assistant Minority Leader, Senator Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate Journal of February the 19th, 2025 actually be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
That was a powerful motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Wow. The ayes still have it, and that motion is adopted. Senate Services.
Correctly printed, Senate Bill 168, 169, and 170. Correctly engrossed, Senate Bill 4, 33, 37, and 45. Senate Resolution 5. Correctly re-engrossed, Senate Bill 63 and 68. Correctly re-revised, House Bill 1034. Correctly enrolled, Senate Joint Resolution 7.
Committee reports.
Committee on Agriculture and Natural Resources. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 7 be amended as follows, and as so amended be referred to the Committee on Appropriations with favorable recommendation. Committee on Agriculture and Natural Resources. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 15 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation and with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. Committee on Education. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 73 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation and with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. Committee on Health and Human Services. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 151 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Committee on Transportation and Energy. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 141 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Committee on Judiciary. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 79 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Committee on Judiciary. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 86 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation.
Third reading of bills. Final passage. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 004.
Senate Bill 004 by Senators Winter and Marchman and Representatives Wilford and Garcia concerning regulating fees licensed child care programs may charge families.
Members, we are on third reading, and we are getting ready to hear Senate Bill 4. And Senator Winter.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for final passage on third reading Senate Bill 004.
Any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 4. Are there any no votes? Senators Simpson, Kirkmeyer, Frizzell, Catlin, Baisley, Rich, Pelton R., Carson, Bright, Liston, Pelton B., Roberts. With Roberts, yes. With a vote of 19 ayes, 12 noes, 0 absent, 3 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 4 is passed. Co-sponsors: Senators Henriksen, Michelson Janae, Amabile, Exum, Bridges, Colker. Please add the president. Mr. Schaffler, please add Senator Cutter to the roll. Also, please add Senator Judah to the roll. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 33.
Senate Bill 33 by Senators Amabile and Roberts and Representatives Ricks and Weinberg concerning limitations on liquor license drugstore licenses.
Senator Amabile.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 033.
Any further discussion? There is discussion. Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, we had a good, robust discussion on Senate Bill 33, and I just wanted to come down and make a few additional comments that, because this is an important bill, I know certainly to all the parties involved, but I just wanted to make, like I say, a few points. I think the good senator from Avon, or from the mountains, made a comment that there's only been 2 buyouts. Maybe that's 2 buyouts in his district, I'm not sure, in the last 3 years. Okay, two buyouts in the last 3 years. But the fact is over the last decade, there's been 26 buyouts. And just know that, that should this bill pass, there will be no more buyouts. So for those liquor store owners who have worked long and hard to develop their little businesses for 10, 15, 20 years, with the idea that here over the last 10 years that there's been 26 buyouts where they get cash from the buyer to the tune of probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. Bully for them, that's great. Is that under this bill, they will no longer get a buyout. So that will end their ability to get to have a King Soopers or a Safeway or whomever come in and say, here's $1 million for your business. That's gone forever. So the other thing that I just wanted to mention is that, you know, it's been portrayed that the liquor stores are going out of business left and right, or they will go out of business. Well, the reality is that over the last decade, back in 2018, there was 1,631 individual liquor stores here in Colorado. And in 2024, it was just under 1,600, 1,587. So it's not like over the last 10 years that the grand compromise that we've had, that the liquor stores are going out of business left and right. The reality is that they're not. The other thing is that it's been portrayed, and, you know, I understand that the, you know, proponents are, you know, advocating for the small liquor stores. I have nothing against them. I repeat that. You know, I have my favorite neighborhood liquor store that I go to all the time. I'll give them a shout out. Bond Liquors on Wasatch at the Bond Shopping Center. Those of you who know where it is. He and his wife run an excellent business. They've done it right, and just down I won't say down the road, 100 yards away is a Safeway where they only sell beer and wine. That's all, you know, and he competes very successfully. So it's been portrayed that the Safeways and the King Soopers of the world don't sell Colorado products. Colorado craft beers, and, you know, that's just not true. Picture's worth 1,000 words. Here's just one picture from a King Soopers that sells, you know, they proudly display and sell Colorado products. They want to sell Colorado products. And if the fact is, if they don't sell every single Colorado product, then, you know, that's an edge to the mom and pop liquor stores. If the mom and pop liquor stores want to sell and have their whole inventory of Colorado products, more power to them. You know, that's okay too. That might give them a competitive advantage over a King Soopers. But the reality is that the grocery stores do indeed sell Colorado products. They want to sell Colorado products, and they will continue to sell Colorado products. So the bottom line is, and, you know, I honor my good colleagues, understand where they're coming from, but really this is, in fact, the word has been used, you know, they're trying to protect the individual small liquor stores. That word has been used several times. This is a protectionist bill, and it's not the aim of the King Soopers of the world, the grocery stores, to try and put the mom and pop liquor stores out of business. That's not their aim. They're just trying to give their customers, like 30 other states already do, 30 other states have done it. They've done it very successfully, and the individual liquor stores managed to do quite well in these 30 other states. That's the law of Colorado. So this is a protectionist bill. Just remember that. So if we're here to absolutely protect one business from another, this is down that slippery slope. So with all due respect to my good colleagues, I understand where you're coming from, but I would urge a no vote on Senate Bill 33. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
You got it. Senator Amabile.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do just want to address a couple of things. The grand compromise and the deal that was set up got blown up by the ballot measure that the voters passed that said you can sell wine in grocery stores. That had a profound impact on the independent liquor stores. And since that ballot measure was passed, there have been 2 sales, and those have been for fractions on the dollar of what they would have gotten before the ballot measure, because their businesses have been dramatically devalued by what's happening. So a liquor store can still sell. There's nothing that prevents that from happening. It just can't be part of this deal that that was in place before the ballot measures. And I also just want to say that the Craft Spirit Association, all of the craft spirit makers, or not all, but the members support this bill. The craft brewers support this bill. And if King Soopers says, well, we sell Colorado products, I mean, I will remind you, and there's nothing wrong with it, but Coors is a Colorado product. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about small, independent breweries and their ability to survive, to buy Colorado products, to put as the inputs into the products that they're making, and for them to get a toehold in the market and to succeed as a small business. And that's what we're trying to do here, and I ask you for your yes vote.
Senator Frizzell.
Thank you. It's okay. So, members, I argued this extensively in the lower chamber against last year. I was really concerned because last year's bill was very different in that it appeared to completely shut out those grocery stores who had already obtained these drugstore licenses and were selling spirits and wine and beer according to the will of the voters of Colorado. So I thought that was really important, and I still do think it's really important. I look at this bill this year as a really good compromise from where we were last year, because nobody's losing their investment that they have made. Those grocery stores and big box stores that sell wine, beer, and spirits can continue to do so. But it also allows some protections for those small mom and pops that have created a business for themselves. It also, like in my hometown of Castle Rock, we have Bubbles, which is a really fun place. If you're ever going through Castle Rock, stop at Bubbles. But I will tell you that since our King Soopers opened up and started selling wine and beer and spirits, the shelves are a little bit sparser than they were before. And that's been noticeable. This is a hard business. The margins are small, and I think we have to be respectful of big businesses and small businesses and try to achieve a balance here. And I'm pleased about the great work that's been done by the bill sponsors toward that. The other thing that is important to me about this bill, and I want to talk about this, is I've had several meetings in my district with folks who provide counseling and services to those with addiction. And those folks have come from that world themselves, and it's hard for them to go to a grocery store. And I had never really thought about that before, because I'd walk in and go grab my deli meats and bread and not eggs, because I don't eat eggs, but you know, I make my purchases and then I leave. And I've just never really paid attention to product placement when it comes to alcohol. And when that was explained to me, it opened my eyes. And I really started looking around and I thought, what level of hell must it be for these people to walk into a place where they just want to feed their family and they have these products in their face nonstop. And so I'm really grateful for the provision in this bill that provides some guidelines around product placement, because I think you all know from listening to me yammer on ad nauseum up here that I am not one to think that it's a good idea to restrict or regulate businesses to any great extent. I'm just not. That's just part of where I'm at. But if we're going to do this, and if we're going to allow sales of beer, wine, and spirits, it is not unusual around the country, in other states that allow this, that you have an area where where those products are placed. That's where you go to get them. And if you don't want to look at them or be a part of that, you don't go there. That's okay. I'm good with that. So for that, for those reasons, it will be a yes vote today. Thank you.
Seeing no, there is further discussion. Senator Wiseman.
Thanks, Mr. President. Members, I'm in support, and I just wanted to add a little bit more. Appreciate the comments from the senator from Castle Rock, because we were both in the other chamber where the prior bill, it almost wasn't the prior bill, as your point, rightly so, was very hotly debated. The senator from Boulder, I think, chose a very different direction. And if you were opposed to the bill last year, I don't think you need to be as opposed to this bill, because it's really a much smaller policy. For me, it goes back to the grand compromise that I think maybe none of us was here for all the way back in 2016, when a 20-year plan was set forth, a certain glide path was intended to try to allow some changes in the industry in a controlled way that would not be negative for small businesses. Then we had a set of ballot measures, and the voters made their choice. And if you looked at the spending behind those ballot measures, there's some interesting things to be maybe concluded there, but we don't need to get into that. I personally construed the bill last year and this bill, the smaller bill this year, as ultimately trying to keep faith with that long ago now, with that 2016 conversation about balancing a little bit of fluidity in the sector and also not having a set of policies in this historically heavily regulated industry that would be negative for small businesses. I think the blunt reality is the margins are higher on alcohol beverages. The higher is the proof. So when pursuant to the ballot measure, now we're selling not just beer but wine in the grocery stores, that starts to change the economics of the small businesses. And notwithstanding, I represent part of the third biggest city in the state. We have tons of small liquor stores. And the point that I wanted to add here is, at least in my city, these small businesses are pretty commonly run by immigrant families. The reality is, because of our nexus of state and federal laws, a license to sell alcohol beverages is a valuable commodity. It has been given value by the law. And that is how a lot of people simply earn their rent, earn their mortgage payment, and try to take care of their kids. The long-term value was, there was an attempt made to sort of protect that or stabilize it, or at least set it to diminishing in a controlled way back with SB 16-197, and then again we had a ballot measure that started to upset that. So I appreciate the work of the senator from Boulder to frankly try to stabilize the economics of these licenses and to keep our small businesses in business, which is particularly important for new American communities in a city like mine. So for all these reasons, I'm in support. I hope that a lot of us can be. Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, The motion is the passage of Senate Bill 33. Are there any no votes? Senators Sullivan, Winter, Carson, Liston, Pelton R. With a vote of 28 ayes, 5 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 33 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Mullica, Doherty, Exum, Catlin, Weissman, Bridges, Snyder, Kipp, Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 37.
Senate Bill 37 by Senators Roberts and Kirkmeyer and Representative Taggart and Morrow concerning assistance for communities experiencing energy transition.
Senator Kirkmeyer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 37 on third and final reading and ask for an aye vote.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 37. Are there any no votes? Senators Baisley, Carson. With a vote of 31 ayes, 2 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 37 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Simpson, Pelton R., Catlin, Doherty, Mullica, Exum, Pelton B., Amabile, Bridges, Weissman, Henriksen, Kipp, Winter, Judah. Please add the President. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 45.
Senate Bill 45 by Senator Marchman and Representatives McCormick and Basnaker concerning the analysis of a statewide universal health care payment system.
Senator Marchman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 45 on third reading and final passage and ask for your aye vote.
Any discussion? Senator Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I spoke a little bit about this yesterday, about how conflicted I am about this bill and this policy. I really don't think there's a path forward for a single-payer system in Colorado, but this bill isn't that. This bill is a study of the potential for it and the impacts to it. And again, instinctively, I say this isn't an outcome that has a chance of happening in Colorado. But I spent a good bit of time engaged with my constituents and heard from an abundance of them and had really thoughtful, engaged conversation about what the bill is and what it does. And we removed all the potential funding from state resources to advance the study forward. I wished I had the proposed policy in my hand. There's some things that would make me a lot more comfortable. But I think out of respect for my constituents and again, the outreach and outpouring from them, I stand in support of the bill today. That will be an oddity, I'm sure, in my caucus and maybe across the whole assembly. But I do think again, it's just a recognition of this isn't the debate about instituting a single payer system. It's about the opportunity to study it again. Maybe this will be the study that ends all studies. Maybe it will be a definitive point in time that says this really isn't a path forward for Colorado. If California can't do it and Massachusetts can't do it and Vermont can't do it, maybe we will finally reach a point and a recognition that Colorado can't do it. But with some hesitancy and reluctance, but again, out of a deep respect for the constituents that outreached and good conversation, I'll stand and be supportive of the bill today. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome. Seeing no further discussion, the motion again is the passage of Senate Bill 45. Are there any no votes? Senators Frizzell, Catlin, Baisley, Rich, Liston, Pelton R., Carson, Bright, Kirkmeyer, Pelton B. With a vote of 23 ayes, 10 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 45 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Kipp, Winter, Weissman, Judah, Ball, Cutter, Exum, Doherty, Gonzalez, Amabile, Michelson Janae. Please add the president. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Having voted on the prevailing side, I'd like to move for the reconsideration of Senate Bill 4.
The motion is a reconsideration of Senate Bill 4. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Man, that's tough. The motion is adopted and reconsideration is granted. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 4.
Senate Bill 4 by Senators Winter and Marchman and Representatives Wilford and Garcia concerning regulating fees licensed child care programs may charge families.
Senator Marchman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for third reading and final passage of SB 4.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 4. Are there any no votes? Senators Simpson, Frizzell, Catlin, Baisley, Rich, Liston, Pelton R., Carson, Bright, Kirkmeyer, Pelton B., Roberts. With a vote of 21 ayes, 12 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 4 is repassed. Co-sponsors, Senators Judah, Cutter, Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request Senatorial 5.
Senatorial 5 has been requested and granted.
We're just going to lay over seconds till tomorrow. Yeah.
General orders, second reading of bills. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to lay over general order second readings of bills until Friday, February 21st.
The motion is to lay over general orders, second reading of bills until Friday, February 21st. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and general order, second reading of bills will be laid over until tomorrow, Friday, February 21st. Signing of bills.
The President has signed Senate Resolution 5.
Change in sponsorship. The following change in bill sponsorship will occur. Senator Cutter will replace Senator Jaquez Lewis as the Senate prime sponsor on House Bill 1025. Announcements. Senator Mullica.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request a moment of personal privilege.
Members, a moment of personal privilege has been requested and granted.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, if you can listen up real quick, I do want to recognize some guests that we have on the floor over here to my left. We have a number of mayors here from the Colorado Municipal League from throughout the state. Too many to announce, including Mayor Pro Tems. If they want to stand up and we can recognize them and welcome them to the Capitol.
Welcome all of you to the Capitol. Any one of you by chance, last name Coleman? Oh, wow, I just want to make sure. Appreciate that. All right, Senator Mullica.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just an announcement that Senate Health and Human Services will be meeting this afternoon at 1:30 in the old Supreme Court.
All right. Senator Amabile.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to say that the credit unions are here today. They're having their day at the Capitol, and so give a little love to a credit union today.
Thank you. Senator Kirkmeyer.
Thank you. May I have a point of personal privilege, please?
Granted.
Thank you, Mr. President. Everyone, I just want to have you look at your calendar today on Thursday, February 20th. It's National Muffin Day, and the Muffin Man would be the great senator from El Paso County. Woo!
Wow, do you know the Muffin Man? Senator Danielson.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Senate Business, Labor, and Technology Committee will be meeting at 10:05, and we're going to be laying over, Senator Marchman's liquor bill. Senate Bill what? I'm sorry, Senate Bill 132. There it is. Thank you so much, folks.
Thank you. Looking forward to the good senator from Loveland's bill. Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, gluten-free muffins would be appreciated, but thank you. I'm just teasing. Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Local Government and Housing Committee will be meeting this afternoon at 1:30, room 357. We'll hear House Bill 1029 and House Bill 1030. And also, Mr. President, I've requested to be excused for tomorrow from the Majority Leader, Assistant Majority Leader, and anyone else that asked. So thank you.
That request is approved. Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
I just want to recognize the Colorado gifted and talented students that are with us today. So if you're here, thank you. Everyone can stand up, please, if you're here, so we can applaud you. Thanks so much for being at the Capitol today and for caring about how things work, and hope your day is great.
Welcome to the Capitol. Any other announcements? Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee will meet this afternoon at 1:30 and 3:52. We have a confirmation for the Great Outdoors Colorado Trust Fund and then a bill, Senate Bill 140. See you there.
Senator Weissman.
Thank Thank you, Mr. President. State Affairs is meeting 15 minutes on adjournment, so approximately 10 minutes after 10 to hear one bill, Senate Bill 77. See you there.
Majority Rodriguez.
Thank you, colleagues. We've got a couple announcements. Tomorrow, Friday, February 21st, Chief Economist Greg Sobieski with the Ledge Council staff and Assistant Director Team Leader Jason Gellender with the Office of Ledge Legal Services will be offering a training on the Taxpayer Bill of Rights, or as many of you know it as TABOR. All are welcome to join. The training is from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. in House Committee Room 112 or by Zoom. Please join this important training. On that, colleagues, you do not need to return. We will be reading some bills across the desk. Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate recess until 11 a.m. today.
You heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Only one aye. There we go. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. And the Senate will stand in recess until 11 a.m. this morning.